So your underlying energy here is the Eight of Pentacles. So there is a bit of work that's being done right now. A lot of work, okay? And I get this feeling that the Eight of Pentacles talks about really focusing and honing, pretty much, honing on one's individual self. And I say that too because of the Magician underneath. So I had a feeling of it, but then it kind of came out. So I was like, wow, okay, well, whatever. I was pretty much on point. So it's about manifesting and working very diligently regarding manifestation, okay? And this is also having the confidence to manifest what it is that you want. Manifesting your hopes and dreams, etc. So it's not, I really like this, I really like that combo, because those two do focus on manifesting. The Eight of Pentacles is a bit of slower energy, but it's focusing in really looking at the situation at hand. Now, the current situation that you have for your love life, Virgo, is the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is talking about something that was lost, something that was gone, something that's spilt, right? Something that's missing, in your love life. Something potentially very precious to you that you may have lost recently. The beautiful thing here, though, is to remember with this card is that there is still a connection there. There's still something that is left to work with. So right now, I feel like, considering that the Eight of Pentacles is about focusing on work, I feel like the situation right now is like giving respect, obviously, to what's lost, but the focus soon should be switched to the Two of Cups, so, that way you can go ahead and get on with this Eight of Pentacles energy with the Magician there. So I think currently you guys you're going through some sort of loss right now, mourning or recognizing what you guys have been through, what you guys have been feeling, the loss of, you know what I mean? Giving the honor to it, because we just had an eclipse, right? So, you guys may have released something that was very precious to you at that time, but I feel like it can be bigger and better than ever. Okay, very soon, whenever you guys decide to shift your focus, or whenever the shifting of whoever you're dealing with, whoever this energy, whenever the shift begins. But the goal in the relationship is the Two of Pentacles. So this is about picking and choosing what it is that you want, what it is that has a value to you, or value in the relationship. It's really kind of, I feel like this is the decision making of it, right? Looking at what's of value to you, figuring out, weighing the pros and cons, weighing the value of each option. I don't think this is juggling two people, but I do feel like this is potentially trying to figure out pick an option that's of value to the relationship, or to, your future in your romantic life, okay? It's very interesting. The thing that's kind of keeping you from being able, though, to look at, or to maybe blocking you from making the decision right now, or being solid on a decision regarding these cups, is because, well, think about it. The Two of Pentacles is focusing very much on the practical, right? This person is looking at the pentacles that's struggling, and the waves of his emotions are going kind of insane. It's unaddressed, it's unlooked at. And the only way for him to truly figure out what he truly wants, he has to look at what he feels about each option. And that's where the blockage comes in, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is all about your emotions, your wish, what you feel from what you want, right? What is it that you want? I don't know. There's a lot of looking at what it is that you want. I feel like you want, I don't know what I don't know if it's necessarily want per se, but I feel like with the Nine of Cups, maybe you don't know what you want, or you don't know how you feel, or the relationship itself, like there isn't really an idea of what is desired from the connection right now. And it could be because somebody may have taken a step back, or maybe or perhaps Virgo, even you may have been feeling emotionally done with the connection, or done with the situation. Not that you want to break up or anything like that, but there was just something that was dissatisfying in the relationship between both parties. It could be that you're dealing with somebody that was feeling dissatisfied in the relationship, and you don't kind of know how to move forward from that, or something, right? But there's something in regards to this relationship that's coming up here that's showing dissatisfaction in the past, and somebody, going about their own direction to find their cup, find that ninth cup, find whatever makes them feel happy. Okay, so somebody doesn't know what they want. Somebody's not really certain about how they feel about the connection, or especially where they want to take it. But that's where the hard work comes in. I think that's where the focus it comes in as well, is because it's looking at closely and deeply into one's emotions. Now, your advice, you have the Four of Wands, and this is talking about being in the moment in a way, because the Four of Wands talks about stability, support, and security. Okay, it talks not necessarily stability, support, and security. My bad. This is not Ten of Pentacles. This is the Four of Wands. This is about stability and reaching a higher place of commitment. But this is celebration, right? And appreciating that for where you are. And I feel like I'm not saying that you guys are being ungrateful or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying when I say this. But I do get this feeling that perhaps what they're trying to say is, it's like, if you focus in the moment and just enjoy what you have in the moment, I feel like what you want will come up. I feel like what you're looking for, or what this relationship, what's desired from this relationship, will become more clear, as far as the dream, as far as the wish, as far as the direction. Because right now, I feel like the relationship is potentially in a pretty stable place. Of course, not a place where you guys want to stay, because this is not the end game. Of course, with the Four of Wands, not the end game, but I feel like it's actually in a place where it's not actually too bad. So right now, focusing on the moment, working day to day, I think it'll bring up some ideas, show some things that you may actually enjoy in the connection, and may want to manifest. So I potentially feel like that's what's going on. Perhaps being in the moment is where it's all meant to be. I'm going to pull a clarifier for the Four of Wands for you guys, just to kind of see what else this Four of Wands could be saying. See the Three of Cups, yeah, and this is talking about celebration. This is a union of people, cups. This is people that are in your close circles or close quarters. So I feel like this is kind of like talking about celebrating and enjoying what you have right now, having a party, throwing a party, enjoy the connection that you have right now. Because I feel like if you enjoy the connection now, you'll know what you want later. It's weird, right? Because you're like, if you don't think about the future and don't think about making a decision about where you want to take it, don't have that stress on your back, then I think the manifestation of what you may want later on what you exactly want will come about. Okay? Or the thing is too, that regarding the situation, perhaps the goal is that there is like trying to figure out how to kind of go about beginning to utilize these pentacles. Maybe there's a juggling. Maybe there's a desire to not juggle anymore, kind of having to keep the balance. Maybe it's because there hasn't been really a lot of action on doing what it is that this relationship is desired to do, or wherever the direction is desired for this relationship to take. So there isn't focus that's like focusing on itself, focus on the situation itself, focusing on the relationship, that can potentially help build the stability that you and your real partner could be looking for, or building in a direction where the person that either you're seeing or dating, or either being ready to date, being comfortable with where you are and being good with where you are and celebrating where you are, which is a very stable space, is how you're going to manifest ahead. But I feel like it's recognizing what you can be content about in this moment. Because internally, guys, how you guys are feeling? You guys are feeling pretty darn serious and a little bit detached with this Queen of Swords. So it's not really looking at this thing with your heart. It's looking at it with your mind. Because the Queen of Swords is very logical. She's very logical, and she's very detached especially when it comes to making decisions and looking at situations. She's very analytical. So the situation, how you guys are feeling, is very detached from the situation. It's looking at it very clinically. So perhaps the situation is having a hard time manifesting and building itself, especially because what's being looked at potentially is not really, there's not a lot of feeling happening. Like this, because the Queen of Swords, she doesn't feel. She's not emotionally. And she's not emotionally ruled. She protects her emotions with the truth of her boundaries. She knows what she wants. She knows what it is. So potentially, you guys know what you guys want. It's just about It's just about really pretty much manifesting that. It's a bit of a hard time for either you or the person that you're in your relationship with. Perhaps, I have no idea. I think most importantly, I feel like it's honestly that you just, maybe there's no idea what you guys want, or maybe there's no idea what the relationship, what you want out of the relationship, or what your partner wants out of the relationship, and it's just focusing on being together. That's the purpose. But excuse me, how you feel is the Queen of Swords. So it's not looking at the situation with with your emotions. It's looking at it with your mind. So it may be a little bit harder to figure out what it is that you want out of a connection. And your hopes and fears are showing the Seven of Swords. Okay, the Seven of Swords, and that's kind of like taking it. I don't think it's a fear of taking a risk, because I feel like you kind of don't care. If the change is happening, it's happening. It is what it is. You're willing to do it. I mean, the Queen of Swords is fearless, so I don't think you're afraid of the change whatsoever. But I do get this feeling that maybe you don't want to avoid something, or maybe you don't want to miss something, perhaps. But I feel like, most importantly, this is just like talking about the change, right? You're willing to do what you need to do to get things done. If it puts you in a very uncomfortable spot, whatever, as long as it's where you want to be, because you don't want to mess around. I guess you don't want to be in an energy where you're not growing, you're not doing anything, and it's just constantly just looking at what's missing. We're looking at what's no longer there, and I feel like you want to change the situation or change the relationship to what you want it to be. Right, to focusing on what you have left. Because I feel like, honestly, Virgos, you have been shifting your focus. You've been shifting your focus, and this is the process of doing that. The Eight of Pentacles. I feel like somebody either is focusing on what's missing. The relationship itself is like, it's a very big highlight of what's missing. But I think you're trying to shift your focus, but it's kind of hard when there isn't really much of a dream in this relationship. So in your outcome, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is awesome. Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups in this reading is very powerful, because that's not just talking about confidence. It's not talking about being able to manifest abundance in your life, but it's also talking about feeling very grounded within yourself and knowing your ability to manifest the dreams that you have and the security that you're looking for, and being very comfortable with where you are, right? Building a safe space or a solid ground for yourself in your relationships, because you know what you want, and you know what you went for, and you know that you have everything it takes and everything you need to build and to make whatever you want to make. So totally amazing. So in your love life, though, I feel like, honestly, it's just that it's the only thing that's missing is this Nine of Cups. What is your wish? What is your dream? What do you want to take this relationship? Where does this relationship want to go? And of course, it's not accusational or anything like that, but you have this Eight of Cups here. So this talking about, stepping away, taking a look at it, taking a look at your own heart. And I feel like with that Two of Pentacles there, I feel like you want to be able to be, I feel like you want to, feel like you want to make the decision that gets you to a place of security, a place that you feel pretty solid about. Something that manifests itself into the physical, not in a materialistic way, but something that's real, something that actually can develop into something real. Okay, let's go ahead and see what your romance angels is coming up for the week. What is your relationship showing from the romance angels this week? Okay, well, I'm gonna go with this one. Trust. That's what Leo got. Oh my goodness, trust. Now, the Nine of Cups, it does talk about manifestation and knowing what your heart's desire is, but it's also believing in yourself and believing in your ability to manifest that dream that makes this card the wish card, right? Knowing what you want and being content with it and trusting that it will come. So perhaps there's not a lot of trust that it will come. So there's a lot of focusing on what's missing and trying to change everything. And perhaps what you may need to just do is just know that you know what you want, and then live in the moment and do the best that you can at the time, in the time that you're doing it. So that could be that too, right? So, yeah. All right, Virgo, let's see what's going on with your Wisdom of the Oracle cards this week. There's no judgment here, Virgo. I get that. Okay. Oh, wow. Take a nap is what's coming up. Okay. And this is saying here, that it's time to, obviously it's time to take a nap. It means it's time to rest and, be, just, you don't have to do anything right now. There's not a lot of super hard work that's needed to be done. It's more of just like give yourself a time and some rest, and allow yourself to enjoy this moment fully. If you need to rest, if you need to take a break, if you honestly just be, just see where you guys are and just enjoy yourself, because where you guys have come so far is amazing. That's why I don't feel like this Four of Cups really, because I said in the beginning of this reading, it was like, oh, maybe there's a lot of focusing on the stuff that's lost, the things that are missing. No, I think there's awareness of what's missing, but I feel like there's a shift in focus in this relationship, a serious shift in focus. That's what I feel like. There's a shift in this focus in regards to what's lost to what can be done, and I feel like y'all are you guys are right now. I can sense it. You guys are in kind of fix it mode, or kind of like, let's make something happen with what we've got. Your eyes are solution based, very solution based, not very pessimistic. So you guys are very positive as far as finding solutions. You're realistic, but you can find a solution in everything. And I feel like with this Five of Cups, it's not necessarily that you guys are feeling kind of sorry for yourself, sorry for the relationship, or feeling bad with the relationship. Yes, you know it's lost, but you're looking at exactly what you can do to make this better. And I feel like right now the Two of Cups is what you should be focusing on, which is the love, which is just focus on where you guys are. Feel that connection. Be in love right now, Virgo, and it's totally acceptable and totally okay, because Venus is in your sign and she's all about pleasure. So enjoy her.